hello again. Hello again. Welcome to the Performance Racing Formula 1 Season 13 Fangio Monaco Grand Prix, where we will be racing in the morning. And we just spun the wheel for the time of day. And yes, we are doing a full qualifying even though we've got 10 drivers. Yes. Morning, says Robbo in chat, yeah. There's already been chat. Are we really doing full qualifying with 10 in lobby? Yes. We've got 3 drawn in qualifying. So it's not going to be the largest grid tonight, but it's Monaco. And here we are. Good morning, Monaco, apparently. Why did the wheel have to spin morning? Why did the wheel have to spin morning? That's one of life's greatest mysteries. Anyway, the qualifying run. With 10 drivers in, potentially 13, looking for 15 places. Let's be honest, there isn't going to be much here to think about other than tyre usage. Don't forget, in Monaco, it's 125. You have to make 2 tyre set changes. You need to use 3 tyre sets. But also, PRF1 have added on top of that a special 3 tyre compound race where you have to use softs, mediums and hards. Qualifiers, options and primes if you're as old-fashioned as I am. And the question will be, can AMS Godwin, after that slightly surprising but very well executed victory in Azerbaijan last week, making high winds pay off even in that green light checkered scenario, what will be next? We'll just now have a quick rundown of the championship, just so you all know where we stand. And you know where things will be going from here. So, we currently have AMS Squadron in championship lead at 89 points out of the possible 100. My man is 50 for a win. AMS Casper, 87 points. AMS Apple, 60 points. Robust Knights, 52 points. As is Fuse Demon. Although, because Robust Knights has a P2, he has the countback. Yeah, the Master Spread in 6th with 47. Misfits in 7th with 40. Same as Trappy, who they're both equal. Because they both finished third ones and nothing else. Super 7 in 9th with 39 points. Owen CFC with 34 points. AMS Josh with 24 points. AMS Axel with 14 points. Not going well for the defending champion so far. Bearing in mind, the defending champion had an absolute disaster at Azerbaijan, including having an off on the final lap. Then we have Speed Freak in 13th with 12 points. And that is it in terms of the point scorers so far. And now we will go on board with the triple PRF1 champion, AMS Godwin. Except, I think he's on a double course. Let's not do that. Let's go. Who's next to cross the line afterwards? It will be Owen CFC 18. We will go on board with Owen. And take a round a lap around the Circuit de Monaco. Right, now the DRS at Anthony Nose, 6th gear, 7th gear, across the line. Braking relatively deep into set devote. Let's say Owen really respects the track limits every turn now. Up Borivage, heading towards Massonnet. Going wide and tucking in, and then into Casino Square. Then missing the bump over AMS Godwin is then into Upper Mirabeau. And then into the Hotel Hairpin, Grand Hotel Hairpin, Lowe's Hairpin, whatever you want to call it. And then into Lower Mirabeau. And then into Portier, which Owen does admittedly miss the airbags off, but things don't matter much at the moment, considering we have 10 going into 15. Out of the tunnel, then braking into the Nouvelle Chicane. It's clearly a bit of a feel for Owen as he cuts the Nouvelle Chicane. A few demons left the session. That's not going so well. Okay. Through the swimming pool. And then coming out of it. We'll still keep going with this. Owen trying to back probably to save battery and do another time into Raskas. And then he will come into Anthony Nudge. And on the power, Neil Seton, another lap. That's in now. And we're starting still cruising round. Getting out of the way of Robbo Snipes, who I believe is currently just cruising as well. Strange situation here, full qualifying, but we know everyone's going to go through. What do you talk about? What does one talk about? That is the golden question we have to ask ourselves tonight. But with the free tyre compounds, the free tyre sets that the game enforces, because of real life, what will be, and because it's Monaco in the morning, unusual time of day, what will be? What will be? Also, I don't know how to call this. As Misfits, we're going to start light with him, but apparently he's invalidated. Right, Amos Godwin's on one. He's not, apparently. He's just cruising around. Oh dear, I want to see someone set a time so we can just let you enjoy it in all its glory. Oh dearie me. This may be low octane so far, but this is the Performance Racing Formula 1 Season 13 Fangio Monaco Grand Prix, and it's good to have you here. It is low octane at the moment, considering full qualifying, and we have less drivers than our slots to fill in qualifying too. But it will get good. I do promise you that. Things rarely stay static in this league. As now we head with Master Spread. Fresh from his midweek Madness League debut last night, finishing second provisionally. Let's go on board with him for a lap. You just witnessed the fastest time in qualifying one. Master Spread sets a 112.441. Amos Cap's currently cruising, so he's probably doing a double cool, or they're just trying to save the tyres. Misfits on mediums. Interestingly enough, what do we have from Misfits? 115.303. I think there's some tyre strategy going on here. Yeah, MS Axel's cruising around as well. I think they're just trying to set the slowest possible time to register one, in case things do happen. As Owen CFC is retired, I believe that's in the pits, so we are okay. Not much happening at the moment. We've just got cars cruising around. We can see the return of his demon into the lobby as he leaves the pits and cuts set devote to join on an outlap, I should say. But who will win the third race? As we see, Amos Apple has joined the lobby to make it 11. So we had Amos Casper win the season opener. We've had Amos Godwin win the second race. What happens now? Will we see 3 and 3? Or are we in for a little bit of a surprise with a repeat winner? That is the question. To be or not to be? I'm not quite sure where to look now, because it's only AMS Axel's goes around at 3 miles an hour, so is AMS Casper. Only Fuse Demon seems to be making anything of representative pace, and I'm assuming he's going to have a little bit of a feeler on this lap. Well, let's see what the most expensive PRF1ist in the field can do. We'll go off board this time. Had on the Diaz heading towards the number 1 set devotes. Very committed there. Had on the battery up Beaurivard, heading towards Massenet. Wide line then, kissing the inside. Then through Casino Square. Avoiding the bump out for Casino Square and into the upper Mirabeau. Purple sector one allegedly. Now into the hotel hairpin. I say it's looking very neat and competent so far from Fuse Demon. Slight instability coming out of Lower Mirabeau. Portier looks like the rear and the front just weren't quite glued as he'd have wanted. But not sharp. Had to get the rear to turn. Now, we're going for a tunnel. Now for the new screen. And Fuse Demon has cut the track. Oh, dearie me. That is not what Fuse Demon wanted. As Andrew Pittsmith goes faster than the 112.232. Reminder, it is realistic performance. So Andrew Pittsmith in that McLaren. That's the fastest weapon, and he's used it so far quite effectively. But will the quickest drivers on beating slowest cars make statements? Because if it's one track you can outdrive your car, Monaco's up there. Monaco's up there. Go on, Fuse. Let's see if you can set a time. Through Massenet and into Casino Square, you can tell he's used a bit of his size. He doesn't look as planted as before, but he's gone faster allegedly, according to the game, because he's gone purple in Sector 1 again. 19.2. Through the hotel hairpin, and then into the lower Mirabeau, and then into Portier. Struggling to get it hooked there through Portier's Fuse Demon at the moment. Through the tunnel, not burning all the battery. Maybe this is just a feeler, a sighter, as was linked to earlier. He doesn't cut the Nouvelle Chicane too much this time. That's on the power into Tabac. And then through the first phase of the swimming pool. Then into the second. And oh my goodness me! There is a starter of Iris Axel in the way. Oh dearie me. The defending champion getting away from his demon there. I said Iris Axel should have been a lot more alert to that. I have to be very critical. You can't block people in qualifying like that. That's harmless. That's something you'd expect from the 1980s. Before everything became all codified in the sense of what you have to do in etiquette. Think of Amos Axel. What time's he going to set? As Amos Casper looks like he's on a very quick time, he says tongue-in-cheek. As we've gone 5.5 minutes and he's still setting the time. This is absolutely thrilling. No. So I think we'll go on board with Amos Apple. And frankly, he has been unlucky to have not won one of the first two races, as he's had some blistering speed at the Australian Grand Prix, at the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. Will Monaco be third time lucky for Amos Apple? Or will it be a case of one step forward, two steps back again? The talent's there. We know Amos Apple's got it. But can he get some temperament and use the speed of that Haas and himself to get somewhere? Well, I'll tell you one thing, 111.6.29, that's not too bad. Now, Amos Casper did sit a 6 minutes 2.624 to go 10th. Slightly outside 107%, by a few 100%. Amos Godwin did sit that 220. Looks like Amos Axel's actually legitimately going to go 11th with this very slow crawl of a time. As Fuse Deer decides that's enough. Yeah, Amos Axel's a 6 minutes 23.964. You think with these times we're seeing a very quick... Oh, as I have disconnected. And we made it back, but we're literally watching a whole load of nothing. 53 seconds left, so I guess we'll go through the running order. We have Amos Apple with a 111.629, followed by Andrew Pittsmith, Master Spread, Owen CFC 18, Robert Sykes, Fuse Demon, Amos Rapid, Misfits, Amos Godwin, Amos Casper, and Amos Axel. And we will see you in a moment for qualifying 2. And welcome everybody to qualifying number 2 for the Performance Racing Formula 1 Season 13 Fangio Monaco Grand Prix. And now, here's interesting. We now know we've got a field of 11, as per the rule book, is you can only join in qualifying 1 for the Fangio side of the league. Because, of course, we are racing with realistic cars. Who is going to be the one that doesn't make qualifying 3? Truthfully, it's hard to say. The qualifying one being so unrepresentative of a competitive session, I'm not entirely sure where we go from here. Your guess is as good as mine, folks. Your guess is as good as mine. New Zealand, however, is the first one out on track. He is being followed by AMS Trappy, then Andrew Pittsmith, then one of the Ferraris. It's going to be said that traffic is going to be nowhere near the factory it could have been with only 11 drivers taking part. Effectively, we've got Q3 levels of traffic all the way through this. Any predictions for Pope? Pop it in the old chatter if you are watching this live on the old Twitch. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Anyway, I think it's time we have another all-natural lap. So, you are now on board with PRF1's most experienced driver in the field today. Hugh Stephen, enjoy. It says a 12.447, but that is being usurped by Andrew Pittsmith from Medias with the 12.058. Trap with 11.036. Interesting time from Trappy. Lowering that bar. Robert Sykes 12.287. AMS Axel at 10.658. I know Mr. Godwin has AMS Axel as a potential favourite tonight. You might just have seen a little bit of the proof of that. Anyway, let's go with Mass Spreader 19.0 Sector 1. What does our beloved Fangio head admin have for us? 348. Now, I do know from practice Mass Spread did look visibly, as well as explicitly mentioned, he was struggling with rear balance. Oh, there's me messing up with my controller, I do apologise. I'm not quite sure if he's managed to solve his issue, but tell you one thing, his rear end looks very sketchy, and you can see he's got little faith in it. 53.267 after 2 sectors, but you do need a strong front end to get the rotation around here, and survival will produce you good points. Particularly tonight, if all 11 finish, I will be very surprised, and they will deserve all the accolades they get. My friend goes P4 with a 12.036. And then let's see what his teammate Owen CFC 18 can produce. Through to back now. It's not as quick as Master Spread, only 54.367 after 2 sectors, so we're talking about a second difference there. And now heading into Raskas. And then into Antinoja. Amos Trappy has called it quits in the pit lane, I can see. He's happy about 11.0. He thinks he can't be beaten by one of the other drivers, all the other drivers, I suppose. Zone CFC 18 sets a 1:13.530. And with that, I suppose, we can see the Amos Trappy is set at 1 minute 10.779. And the Misfits did set 112.492, and I'm CFC got 13.530. I'm still trying to work out who's going to be the one that will lose out in qualifying. Does anyone have a guess? I'm not quite sure. Who is going to be the one that gets knocked out of qualifying? I think on current evidence, you'd have to suggest it probably owns CFC, but how representative was that time? Eris Apple going very aggressive with the exit of Set Devop. Through Massenet now, I say this is great from Eris Apple. That raw speed coming out of the house. Eris Casper's called it quits. 18.558, Sector 1 from Eris Apple. That's quite sprightly for Sector 1, has to be said. Slightly wide into the hotel hairpin, but it is looking groovy. Had a bit of a slapper there. Through the middle and the exit of Lower Mirror. Same. Struggling with traction out of Portier. Mostly flat through the tunnel. What about into the Nouvelle Chicane? Going very aggressive on the track limits, but he stays just about in, at least by the game's reckoning. Very committed through the tobacconist. A 52.5 after 2 sectors. This won't be quickest, I'd imagine, but I bet you it's very close at worst. Slight lock up down to Rascal, that's sensing wide. He lost a lot of speed and exit as a result. Through Atenoj, hard, on the power, on the DRS. What can MS Apple do? 111.655. Okay, as MS Axel has called it quits. That 110.658. Not a lot happening now. Because MS Apple's the other one out on track. Anything to consider the lap, I suppose we'll go on board with Misfits now. Can he improve on that 112.492? You'd imagine MS Godwin can beat that time because Misfits haul himself into trouble. All we know is the top 3 are confident that they've made it. I mean, there's quite a gap between MS Shop and MS Apple. I imagine MS Apple can bridge it. Can anyone else? And how much safety you want me to put in this lap, says MS Gordon. Well, I can't tell you that. I can't tell you what to do. I'm just a commentator. You've got to make your judgment for yourself. Besides, you're a triple PRF1 champion. I'm just a single. You know better than me. Anyway, Misfits through Massenet, very committed, we can see. And then through Casino, leaving a lot of time and exit though. That's definitely not Purple Sector 1. We've seen MS Apple go quicker, but that is a significant improvement of a 10th or so on his own time for Misfits. Now through Lower Maribor. Now into Portier. It's very neat and tidy. He could. English is very easy, right? Misfits could potentially find more time. I just wonder how much he's pushing right now versus just make sure he gets a good timing. Using the track quite effectively there through the Nouvelle Chicane. Leaving not too much out at the back. Half second. He had to go for a double turn in there into the second section of the swimming pool. Race neat and tidy through Raskas. Now into Anthony Noge. Misfits, what have you got for us? And the field is going to be a 1 minute, 11.709, puts in P5. That'll be enough. Who knows? Now, MS Godwin, what's he got for us? It's a 52.904 after 2 sectors. Oh, the back end got away from him there. He could have easily have crashed out there. Oh, the balance looks horrible in that racing bull in its Miami livery. That looks horrible. Has he overcooked his rears? Where does MS Squadron go? He goes 6 with a 111.959. I'm not entirely sure he'll feel confident with that. As Fuse Demon has gone off with a 111.051. That could worry AMS Godwin somewhat, but does he have the fuel? He's only 1.9 laps of fuel. If he wants to go for one last final run, he's going to have to save a little bit here. Roger Pittsmith gets out of his way. Okay. 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 Well, attention here. Keep in mind, we're only going to lose one person because we've got 11 drivers budding for the 10 qualifying 3 slots. But if track position matters anywhere, it's at this track. Also, what happened in real life in 24 and 25, overtaking is nigh on impossible. Hence why we saw Charles Leclerc just keeping the field nice and tight in 24 when everyone made their tyre change under that red flag. In 2025, well, we all saw the games that a lot of teams played, so they could both cars could make their 2 starts that lost a track position. Right, Andrew Pittsmith, the floor is yours. You are on the stream. We are watching you. 3-2 and 3 second vote. That's very committed, I've got to say. As he runs McLaren in its special British Grand Prix chrome livery. Some nice rotation there, but it does look like he hasn't got full confidence. Just from what I can see. But he's gained quite a bit of time. Fuse Demon has called it quits. Is he safe? It probably is. Considering Owen CFC would have to find 2.5 seconds to put him in trouble. I gotta say, it looks very sensitive here from Andrew Pittsmith. I can't tell if he's fully pushing or not. It just looks very tentative. But into the Newell chicane. It's neat and tidy, but it does admittedly look not the briskest. It's at 57.57 after 2 sectors. He's found 3 or so temps. Now into Raskas. Ooh, he had to turn out slightly there to avoid whacking the right rear on the wall of Raskas. It's 11.11.851. It takes him to piece and above AMS Godwin, admittedly. But AMS Godwin's got more than that. We surely has. Anyway, Robert Snatch has to 111.976. Doesn't use to AMS Godwin, surprisingly. Pressures on Orange CFC 18. He's currently the 1 in the drop zone. What does Aston Martin driving have for us? He would be currently aiming to knock out his team at master spread. He's got to find pretty much 1.5 seconds just to get there, though. Has he got that time in him? I said he's looking a bit more on it this time. Yeah, he's found nearly 1.7 seconds after 2 sectors. Surely. We're going to see Owen CFC 18 lift himself out of the drop zone through Raskas and now into Anthony Nodge. Let's say he does look relatively committed. He does look a little nervous. But it's enough for P5, 1.332. Oh, pressure's on, folks. And what about master spread? Has he got anything else? I know I alluded to earlier about his setup. It does look very edgy and nervous, like he hasn't got faith in it, but he's found 4 or so times. That would elevate him quite some way, even for any people at AMS Apple. But AMS Apple will be safe because Andrew Pittsmith's in the pits and he's behind AMS Apple. Master Red, what does the head of this division have? He goes P6 to level 111.538. AMS Godwin's now going to be on a lap. As he is 10th out of 11th. Surely he could not qualify last. Surely. But Robert Snacks will give it one more go. He's crossing the line with 7 seconds left. So this for AMS Godwin's got to count. He's got to go with it all the way through. Doesn't matter if CFC 18 lets him go. Very committed there from the Racing Bull. Tell you one thing, he looks a little nervous, AMS Godwin, and he's down on his time after 2 seconds, but got bear in mind, he did have a tricky Raskas when he did actually have a go at time. He's locked up and he's gone wide. But he looked a lot better than before, saying that. But Anthony Nodge, the car violently took away from the camera of the track. Let's go ahead and set to 111.760. He will be safe because being Andrew Pittsmith. It's all on Robbo Snipes now. Here's the last one. The last one to set a time. What have you got for us, Robbo? Through to back. He's just over a 10th up. That wouldn't quite be enough. He needs to find a few more thousands. Very committing to Raskas. He turned so early there. Well, unbelievable. His rear end getting away from him. Will Robert Sykes make it to qualifying 3? He does. He does by the virtue of 32 thousandths of a second. Andrew Pittsmith is the casualty here in qualifying 2. Meanwhile, we have on top AMS Axel, AMS Casper, AMS Trappy with a 10.6, a 10.7, and 11.0 respectively. Then Fuse Demon, AMS FCA team, Misfits, Master Spread, AMS Apple, AMS Squadron, Rob Snipes, and of course we leave Andrew Pittsmith. We will be back very shortly for qualifying 3. Is it going to be a cyber benefit, or can the hash drivers find something with raw speed? Even Fuse Demon maybe? Only one way to find out. Here we go, folks. It's the business end of qualifying. Qualifying number 3 for the performance racing following season 13 Fangio Monaco Grand Prix. As we see, a lot of cars going out there. And you know what? It's the Saubers using end of pit lane advantage by being virtual of being last in the 2024 constructors in real life to get out there first. And you know what? I think that, yeah, we have Axel in the Miami livery, Casper in the standard livery that they use in 2025. We're seeing most drivers go out here. This is going to be like a freak machine as people put something on the board. Okay. Okay. As Speed Freak says, let's go Fuse. Backing his teammate. Good to see you in here, Speed Freak, by the way. Good to see you in here. And Maskman is finally making it 10 out of 10 on the track. Well, I suppose we're going to have to look at Amos Axel because he's the first one out there. And they're all out there. All out on track. All 10 cars. This is how you know the business end has approached us. And for Anthony Noge, go on. I will let you have another all natural lap. How's that for a time of 1 minute 9.838? Amos Apple set to 110.192. What about Amos Godwin? Oh, he said 1 minute 10.9. That was invalidated. What about Amos FC 18? What can he do? 111.518. What about Misfits? Can he upset the Apple car and get in there towards the top? 109, 10, 11. 112, 117. What about AMS Casper? Can he do anything? It's only going to be 124. Spence, that was a double comb. AMS Casper, that's a 111.007. Going full James Bond in Monaco. A few zeros, that's 111.210. Robert Snipes, what does he have? And that'll be 111.343. And then we have a Master Spread, the last one to set a time. And it will be for Master Spread, 111.704. Amos Godwin, having done his tactical with a double cool, what's he got? It's not looking great. I don't think he's on a... Is he saving again? That's a 56.864. Yeah, this basically looks uncommitted. So uncommitted that he's in. And he hits the wall and entry. Wow, okay. Wow, okay. Well, AMS Casper 52.186 after 2 sectors. That's not purple. And he hits the wall coming out the exit of the swimming pool. But he stays undamaged. Through Anthony Nudge. Can he threaten the times of AMS Saxon, AMS Apple, and AMS Trappy? Sort of, it's a 17360 that sends him to P3. Okay. 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 That means we've got 4 AMS drivers in the top 4. And AMS Godwin create a big, massive AMS sandwich that's a very top heavy. By having not set a time so far. Okay. Okay. After those runs, I think it's going to be a Ferrari-powered car that does make pole position, driven by an AMS driver. But which one? AMS Axel does look the quickest out of the lot, though. So it just feels like it's got that little bit more than the other 3. But AMS Apple, I still think, is a dark horse. He's shown a lot of speed so far this season, despite all the bad luck that's happened to him and the moments that have happened. Luckily for Apple and Casper, their incident at the Azerbaijan Grand Prix was ruled to be no further action. Stewards did say it could have been avoided by both drivers. And if they could. And I think they both got lessons to learn from that. But they're both blazing fast, and on the day they're hard to beat, even if you are at their level on speed. You're going to need a bit of guile as well to usurp them. As we're already seeing one of the Ferrari drivers give it a go, and it's going to be Misfits. He's already decided to pull the pin. Does he want to clear track? I wonder what his strategy is going to be. And this is interesting. We'll ignore the fact he could go over the yellow line there, as he was cutting set de Vos at the pit exit. What do you have for us, Misfits? What do you have for us? What do you have for the field? Can you progress yourself up any further? And can we see times fall further into the 1 minute 9s? Can anyone else other than AMS Axel pull it off? I guess there's only one way to find out. And nice, come and join us. A reminder, this is the Performance Racing Formula 1 Season 13 Fangio Monaco Grand Prix. Another reminder tonight, it is a free tyre compound special where you have to use the primes, the options and the qualifying tyres all in the same race. That on top of the mandatory 3 tyre sets that you have to run at Monaco under 2025 rules. When Fuse Demon's gone out on the lap as well, interestingly enough. Go on, Misfits, let's go on board with you. Really set him up. But a little bit steady and slow there, has to be truthful. Up Borifard, heading into Massenet. It just looks like Misfits hasn't got the confidence in the Ferrari. I mean, that would be realistic for a Ferrari. I couldn't blame him too much. He's nearly 2 tenths up on his original Sector 1. I think the car actually pulled the clutch in there as he went through the hotel hairpin in second. Right, 348, very wide, missed the apex, and then a huge loss of momentum from everything he had to do there in Portier to keep the car going. Now, into the Nouvelle chicane. I gotta admit, he looks very nervous. Very nervous. Misfits is a decent driver, but it looks like he hasn't quite got faith in that equipment. It's over 8 times up, so maybe I'm the one that's wrong. Maybe I'm the one that's wrong. Ray Raskas, I reckon this could actually upset a few people here. Wide for Anthony Nose, but he managed to boot the power, try and get some direction, and he goes straight for 111 for 069. I reckon he hooks that up a little bit more thoroughly. He could have usurped AMS Trappy and put AMS Trappy under pressure. The floor is now Fused Demons. What time does he have? Coming through the tunnel in his Red Bull, breaking into the Nouvelle Chicane. So again, it just looks like the car's nervous, or they are nervous about the car. But it looks like we are going to see a 1 minute 10 coming from Fused Demon here, if he can hold this advantage or even build upon it. He hugs Raskas very tight. Anthony knows that's relatively decent, got relatively close to the wall there. And he's got in between the aliens. It's a 110.5, 1-2. Alright. That's the turn of AMS Casper, but I sense from that he's doing a double warm-up. So, ONCFC 18, we now turn to you. And it looks like he's also got the same idea. Is that an idea people have got? Has AMS Trappy got that idea? It looks like he has. So what the same as that, I think they're all working out. You need to do a double warm-up, or at least that's what they're thinking. Not necessarily saying you have to, not necessarily you don't have to. And Godwin's at it too. They're all at it really. Misfits is going for another time. So may as well have another look, right? Hammering the battery up Beau Rivage, now heading into Massenet. Oh, again Leary giving it the full Gilles Villeneuve there. And he's holding back. And it looks like he hasn't got enough fuel. He's 0.7. That's it for Misfits. He will go no faster than 11.069. You see me Robbo Stice's on the lap. So we'll stick with Robbo. Looking quite neat. Looks like I got a little bit more confidence than Misfits in the car. And you can tell as a wheel player, the way he's turning, it looks almost reminiscent of Fernando Alonso in those mid-noughties Renaults on those Michelin tyres. But if that's how he's managed to get the front to bite, then fair enough. You got to do what you've got to do. If you want to feature optimism, you gotta do what you gotta do. Out of the Nouvelle Chicane, now heading into the Tobacconist. That's very committed for Robert Nice. He's got 1.6 temps on himself. So he could be the one to usurp. Oh, the MS Cuts at 196.73. I thought he was on a cool. Oh, he started passing that quickly. The session has now ended. What's Robert Nice got for us? He goes P5. What about Fused Demon? And we'll have a look at other drivers as well as their set times. We'll keep an eye. Fused Demon is currently about 3 times down. Can he produce a super sector 3? Got some calls. Other AMS drivers some issues. Looks a little bit slider there through Westcast and Anthony Noach. The Aston Martin drivers have finished the times. They stay 8th and 9th. Fused Demon stays P4. AMS Trap is invalidated. He's going to finish no higher than P6. AMS Axel because that's 159.614. And AMS Godwin has invalidated. AMS Godwin is legitimately going to qualify P10. 0 to 0 for AMS Godwin, but the defending champion, AMS Axel, has taken pole position for the Performance Racing Formula Season 13 Fangio Monaco Grand Prix. This is AMS Axel we know and love. The Swede, as part of an all-Swedish Sauber-driven, Ferrari-powered front row. Wow! Wow! AMS Axel right at the death there, pipping his teammate by 59 thousandths of a second. I think that's what did they put over the wall there over in Sweden. I don't know. Stefan Johansson is the one name that comes to mind straight away. Though they did have in Sweden car control, as they all do in the Scandinavian countries, because it's a little bit icy and slip it this time of year. Anyway, we have Amos Axel on pole for 19614, followed by Amos Casper, Amos Apple, Fuse Demon, Robert Snipes, Amos Trappy, Misfits, Massbird, OZC, and Amos Godwin is the last car. Quite shockingly, race winner last week, former champion, runner-up in both Lauda and Fangio last season, 10-5-11 on the grid. Unbelievable. We will be right back. Don't go anywhere. This is going to be quite something. We know that there's going to be tracks and free tire compounds, but who will come up with the best strategy? Almost safety cars and red flags throw double sixes. See you soon. Hello, welcome back. As we have about a minute or so before we begin, as we have been told it's 29-10 with GMT that we will begin for the Performance Racing Formula 1 Season 13 Fangio at Monaco Grand Prix. This is going to be cracking. Remember, the free tyre compound rule is in play. They have to use all the tyre compounds or they will face a disqualification, and we don't want that. Do we? We don't want people getting disqualified? As a league owner and a league admin myself, there is nothing worse than having to disqualify someone. It's a horrible feeling. You don't want to do it. Sometimes you're left with no choice. So, I remind drivers, use the Prime, the Qualified, and the option tyres, all three. That's hard, soft, and medium, if you prefer. So that's out of the way. It's got to wait for everything to develop. And how will people play this? If you're towards the rear, middle of this small field, what about your tyres? If there's a safety car or a red. I reckon, honestly, if you see a lap one or earlier safety car, I think people will get their Mantra 2 stops out of the way. I say Mantra 2 stops. Make sure they've used the free tyre sets and use the free compounds. Intriguing to see what people are using. I see lots of red walls there. Okay. So we've seen Amos Axel, Amos Casper, Amos Apple, Fuse and Robert Stice, Amos Trappy, Master Spread, and Amos Godwin all on softs. Well, Misfit, Orange CFC, and Intuition all on mediums. I'm not exactly sure the hard tire would be the wisest choice, but I'm amazed not even once had a sniff of that and tried it. I suppose if it's an early safety car, I think everyone's got a plan. Pit. But if you're towards the rear, like Amos Godwin, Andrew Pitt Smith, and it's that lap one safety car, get rid of both sets of tyres, and then just hard to the end, or do you go hard? That is the question you got to ask yourself. It's quite a relatively quick formation lap. Amos Axel's going for it here. He wants those side temps in no softs. But there are some legs towards the rear that are taking their sweet time. So I say it's a quite wide field spread for 11 cars. Now, let's be honest, fire temperature is not going to be a huge issue. Well, it is. It's the wear you need to be worried about. And yes, we've only 11 tonight. But you only need 2 cars to make a motor race, and we have 11. And we are now seeing Anthony come for Anthony Node. Yeah, everybody, this is the Performance Racing Formula 1 Season 13 Fangio Monaco Grand Prix. With the free tri-tyre compound rule in effect, on top of the usual Monaco free tyre set rule. We will conquer the streets on the first crown jewel of the season. We are 2 like 3, 4, and 5. Go! For the Monaco Grand Prix. Amos acts like a stalking star. He keeps Amos Casper behind you. Amos Apple. A Fuse Demon. We have Amos Trappy still in 5th. We have both the Ferraris making contact with each other, it seems. Green Bonaparte, we got them both Aston Martin get each other green. Then Amos got Andrew Pitts towards the rear. It's not a great deal of change there. The question is that, as we see, quite a few changes owing to the pace of Mugs, Robust Knight somehow. In that as the passing Ferrari Fusion. So Amos Axel looks like he's going for it. He's pulling the pin. Is his strategy to string out the field? He's not going slowly. He's not going slowly at all there. Now, will we see any action, any overtaking? It is tough to overtake here. You all know that watching. Monaco's Monaco. But without the fear of your life, because you're only racing online rather than real life, will that encourage something? Will the usual PRF1 at Monaco madness kick in? I've raced in PRF1 with many a safety car appearing around here. I remember season 1, both Division 1s in Xbox and PlayStation were manic. As we see people like Robert Snipes already choosing to pit, Amos Godwin already choosing to pit. And by the way, there's no front wins. I think this is pure strategy. Great to me is, I tell you what, if there's a safety car now, they could get rid of our obligations already. Track position. I'm assuming they're thinking about later on, trying to undercut those in front already. Interesting games going on. Amos Axel already leading by 1.3 seconds. Looking at the back of the Sabre, that's a very nice camera shot. I give the producer in that game. Amos Casper in close pursuit. Amos Apples, we go with the front wing. Now that's very nice. Then we've got Fuse Demon, AMS Trappy. Then we've got Misfits, Orange CFC, Master Spread, and Andrew Pittsmith. That's what I haven't stopped. I've seen Robert's eyes, Amos Godwin, as we see them both there through the tunnel. They've stopped already. They've made the call. They want some clean air and try and get in the back of the field. As Amos Axel's fast lap, Amos Casper's the fastest lap. We're already seeing Amos Trappy coming in. We're seeing strategy here already. As he goes to a set of mediums. I was expecting early stops. I don't think I was expecting 3 out of the 11 to have already pitted at the end of 2 laps. But he does protect her from the undercut from Robert Snipes and Amos Godwin. I see that first. He said DRS Amos Godwin, but not a lot happening for the championship leader and the triple PRF1 champion. Stuck behind Robert Snipes for now. Will he have to think out of the box again with strategy? Should he have perhaps stayed out considering Robert Snipes was coming in? I guess we'll find out. It's a long race. 3 tyre compounds on top of the 3 tyre set rule that we have here around Monaco. But the Amos guys there pulling the gap. Amos is already over 5 seconds ahead of his demon after 8 sectors. He's going for it, but Amos Apple is already in DRS range of Amos Casper. We know about the Sabre struggle. Oh, and Amos Casper decided he's going to come in. Interesting there from P2. And the sauce really died that much. We're already seeing people like Fuse doing OCFC pit too. I'm surprised to see half the field already gone to Amos Casper. Interestingly, gone to hard. That's Orange CFC. Well, okay. Interesting. Okay. I'm seeing Amos Trappy has to protect from the undercut from Fuse Team. Robert Snipes and Amos Godwin are going to close to OCFC and exit, and OCFC is going to be dead last. This the undercut has worked, at least Robert Snipes and Amos Godwin. Amos Godwin very close, very close behind Robert Snipes. He's getting very well acquainted to that Ferrari already, at least the rearview mirror of it. So there's interesting games already. We've seen people get rid of tyres, and we've seen different training thoughts already. But Amos actually leads by 2.8 seconds over Amos Apple. Misfits is 7.7 behind Amos Axel. He's P3. Master on Softs in P4. If he's using Softs, that suggests that he's definitely not using his hards, because he needs them later. I think we had Andrew Pittsmith hit the wall hard there. This be alright as Master Red is coming in, getting rid of those Softs. So it's Amos Apple. So already we're in a situation where it's only the top 3 as we start lap 5. But haven't stopped. It hasn't rained, of course, for the 3 tyre compound rule. The weather's fixed to nice and sunny. Intriguing strategy, but Amos Casper on hard. As well as OCFC, everyone else that paid early went to medium. Okay. Okay. Out of Hayden Walder, out of Lower Mirabeau. I don't know quite where to look, to be honest. I suppose looking back from Amos Apple to Fuse Demon, there's a good idea. We haven't seen anything on track outside of lap 1 yet. It's difficult around Monaco, of course. And with it being set to the morning with the time of day thanks to the wheel spin we had at the very start, the track temperature will only get hotter and hotter and hotter. Will that have an effect on the tyres? Oh, and he's got Amos Trappy already. Amos Trappy has 2 laps extra on those tyres. We're seeing team games there. Amos Trappy has let Amos Apple through. That's a full team player there. I don't think I've ever seen Amos Trappy concede willingly before, ever. But he hasn't sounded too confident about his pace from what had been going on in practice, so maybe that was a planned move trying to maximise what Haas can produce. And now is the time. Keep in mind, Amos Casper is there in front of Amos Apple. I have to say, Bruno, that this group here are very close to Amos Axel's green flag pit window. And Amos Trappy's closing in. So she's Demon. Is Amos Axel going to be in trouble here by extending these softs so long? And take off and he's going round again. He's clearly got a game plan. But the finish though is, I guess should he stop? Because if a safety comes out now, everyone that stops can just pit again. Well, at least those on the mediums. And set halves to the finish. I won't say that's easy. That's a lot of laps upon a set of tyres. Even with the reduced distance that Monaco has. But Amos Apple showing the value of those new tyres. Fastest lap, DRS assisted show, and Amos Trappy letting by. Who is now setting on, keeping Fuse Deeren behind him. Now Robert Snack still holding out Amos Godwin, and who's still holding off Owen CFC. Mass spread at the rear in 11th, but he's not exactly a terrible and last. But yeah, as I said, MSAC's at least been hugely undercut here. He's looking at potentially coming at P7 as he struggles for real coming out the new Mel chicane. Bear in mind, it's a track position orientated race, is Monaco. The extending these tyres might work at other tracks with the free tackle compounding ruling player not, and he's coming in. The Swede shows to come in, but I think he's very vulnerable to losing a lot of time. As Robert Stacks at Monaco of all places get 3 seconds to multiple warnings. Oh, that's gonna hurt. Because we have a green light checkered. It appears like we're going to put mediums on Amos Axel. And out he goes. Misfits takes the lead in the Monaco Grand Prix, of course. And I did say, look, that's Amos Trappy, that's Fuse Demon. Oh! Amos Axel was the race leader, remember? When we ended lap 1. He's now P7. And where Trappy is from matters so much. As Amos Axel, the defending champion, made a huge error. Because yes, he's now going to have a huge side advantage nosing from. As we appear to have had the Andrew Pittsmith train, Amos Casper. This is going to be a key test of patience for him. He's not taking over for the car beside his Amos Casper. Can he use that redemption arc very neatly? What will Andrew Pittsmith do? Will he defend? Will Amos Casper find a way through? I'll tell you one thing. This is Monaco. It's not going to be easy. Pittsmith's content. I think Andrew Pittsmith and Amos Casper. Look at this train that's been developed already. So Andrew Pittsmith hasn't made any of his 2 stops or 2 tyre changes. But wow, look how close over this. Andrew Pittsmith pits. He releases the pack. Now Casper desperate to put on the power because he knows he's vulnerable to Amos Apple. He would hesitate to have a try, but he can't quite get there. But that is a gift for Amos Axel. Oh, I just missed it. Oh, Amos Apple at the inside of Bethany using all the battery. Oh, just through Casino Square. Unbelievable. What a muggy for Amos Apple. He's just not going to put it around the outside in Mirabeau. It's an hotel hairpin. Oh, a Casper has it from the inside. Oh my goodness me. Unbelievable stuff here from the two AMS teenagers. And you know what? It's not done yet. Here we are through the tunnel. AMS Apple using battery, going to go around the outside into the email chicane. He cannot. What a turn though from AMS Apple. And what driving from him and AMS Casper to keep that neat and clean and tidy. Genuinely. Fair play. Now we do question AMS Casper and AMS Apple centering it sometimes, but they have that neat and tidy. AMS Apple must be feeling very giddy. Is he going to book AMS Trappy? Oh, they're going side by side into Anthony Node. And they're side by side down the pit straight. Can AMS Axel pull this off? Oh, yes, he can. He has passed AMS Trappy with an absolute mugging of an overtake. That's a Rascal into Anthony Node. What an incredible move for the defending champion. Overtaking the reigning louder champion. The two reigning champions of PRF1 producing an absolutely sensational move and respect at the same time. Meanwhile, team contenders to their crowns, their teammates, AMS Casper, AMS Apple. What a battle they had on lap 9. Absolutely sensational stuff. This proved to be very different than how real life panned out, where there was a lot of sitting, blocking, losing 4 seconds a lap. It's very different here. But here comes another potentially stumble block. Misfits is still the race leader, and he's been quickly caught by the AMS quartet. And he's staying out. We're going to see more potential Jeff of AMS Casper. It was Andrew Pissmith, who by the way has gone to softs. It was Andrew Pissmith out there in the lead, sorry, P2, that was causing the field to bunch up, which facilitated the battles between the Hassies and the Saubers, between the AMS quartets. Speaking of the 5th AMS driver, AMS Squadron is still stuck behind Robbo Snipes. He's losing ground to him, actually. And we're going to see more battles. Oh, we've got yellows. It appears to be AMS Squadron and Master Spread. What's happened between these two? What have I just missed? I don't know about that. Meanwhile, Misfit still has AMS Casper behind him. Will there be any resistance? AMS Apple has Tactical Exhibit 2. Oh, does Misfits defend? He does not. I suspect he's just going to run his race here. He goes down the outside to the chicane. But AMS Casper just uses the meds around the inside and the outside to take the lead of the PRF1 Season 13 Fangio Monaco Grand Prix. This is absolutely crazy so far. And we've just gone over a quarter distance. I would keep watching it for you. Will Misfits keep going, or is he going to mix up? He's going to go round. It's imperative now for their race. AMS up and AMS Axel quickly clear. As Master has retired, it means we have crash. And we have virtual safety car, I don't know. What do we have? It's a safety car. And yes, unpredictably, Robert Starks comes straight in, hard tyres. And so does AMS Godwin. I think it's a no-brainer. You've got to pit. You've got to come in for hard. Unless you're Owen or Casper, what do you do? I think Owen says he's accepted his pain and he's going to go around. I think Andrew Pissman's going to put on those hards as well. Massfred has chosen to leave the session and guessing he had a mare. He was the host, by the way. I wonder who's hosting now. Emma Squad has gone on hands as well. I think he's also done a wind change for how much time he's lost. Wow, okay, what's happened there? Well, we have the safety car now. What about the Emma Quartet? Misfits, he'll be kicking himself. This is not good for him because he's made 0 stops. Oh, Emma Cycle spun behind him. Oh, by some reminiscent of the clash between Pablo Montoya and Michael Schumacher. Nearly exactly there in 2004. Except it hasn't been a clash of both drivers into each other. That Sauber is still going, but he had a spin and he's got 10 seconds. But at least he can serve it in the stop that's coming. He's at the side of the defending champion season. Losing all those positions through the strategy cycle, and then he's got to take a penalty. It's Mr. Race Round running down Axel. He blew it on the last lap at Azerbaijan. And then he's made... Is it a mistake? Has it been brake checked? It's hard to say. But we're saying AMS Casper, is he just going to go to mediums and just block, block, block? AMS Apple has gone to hard. Misfits has gone to soft, keeping in mind. He has to make another stop, but the safety car, he's only at the Newville chicane. He might do two stops here under this safety car, get both of them out of the way. I will trust him when AMS Trappy goes out. His team goes out. AMS Axel, front wing. Time penalty serve. Hard. Roberts, nice and all, he's been able to leapfrog AMS Axel due to the mistake and a 10-second penalty as a result. Keep in mind, Roberts Axel just had that 3 seconds. CFC has decided no, he'll actually go up to mediums after all. Maybe he just wanted to go around by the safety car rules and get some fresher tyres. He does come out behind Amos Godwin, but he just say ahead of Andrew Pipsmith. Okay. Misfits being the only one left to not fulfill their obligation regarding tyres. Keep in mind, well, you have to use 3 tyre sets and use the 3 compounds because of the PRF1 special rules on top of the Monaco special rules. You can still make more stops if you want. That is still your prerogative. Bear in mind, a green light checkered around Monaco is not out of the question. It's never out of the question anywhere, but around here, all these walls, and I've got to say, we've done well to get nearly a dozen laps before we see a neutralisation of the track. But I think because Mrs. caught the safety car, he probably will be tempted to carry on and then use fresher hards later. But we'll find out. What does he do? He stays out. I don't understand either decision, frankly. But now what does AMS Axel do? What's the defending champion got? Can he make his way back? He did rally a little bit before, while that safety car came out for master spread. Is AMS Godwin going to find something in this? I've got to say one thing, if it goes green to the end, we're going to be very mindful on tyres. For those that have stopped now, hards or mediums, Misfit's probably the only one who's in any tyre situation, which means he'll be decent at tyres at the end, because we know he has to stop again. And what an crescendo that was. It was heating up nicely and then it just boiled over madly. I suppose what happens, that's when you boil you off your pasta, just out of nowhere, it just boils the head off the top at pan. Anyway, this is performance racing Formula 1 Season 13 Fangio Monaco Grand Prix. And AMS Casper is leading it from AMS Apple. Misfits, who's only made 1 stop and has only used mediums and soft, still needs to use the hards. AMS Trappy in P4, Fuse Demon in P5, Robert Knights in P6, AMS Axel in P7, AMS Godwin in P8. Obviously, I've seen P9 after this is P10, and by the way, safety car, it's in. Here we go for the first restart of this PRF1 Season 13 Fangio Monaco Grand Prix. With this special 3 tyre compound rule on top of the Monaco 3 tyre set rule. Here we go. Where's AMS Casper pull the pin? He's not going yet, weirdly. And he's going just after Anthony Nudge. Here we go. I think that race has caught a few people out. Fuse in particular. Is he vulnerable to Robert Snipes? No, he just shuts it off firmly enough. OECS he gets 3 seconds for multiple warnings, fortunately. And he sounded go at AMS Godwin, but there's not much doing there. The tough PRF1 champion keeps OECFC 18 behind, at least for now. But now, interesting now, what do people at AMS Casper do? Is he going to convert to a 3? Or is he just going to sit there and save tyres? Axel's like from that, he's going to go and pin it. He's going to try and do it for his strategy. AMS Apple, I don't know if he's preserving or he's pushing, hard to tell. But Misfits on the sauce will definitely want him to hurry up or get out of the way. Alright. Can Misfits make the overtake? Can he make progress on the sauce while they've got some life in them? I think he's accepted his poison, Misfits. He's going to end up last at some point. Unless things go wrong for other people. But he's going to be the only one who can come to get to the end, I suggest, on tyres when we get there. And he's all over AMS Apple. There'll be no DRS. Oh, he has a Mono Antonio. Trying to pass Dirty Air, catching the gradient of Antonio or whatever it may be. But he had a little bit of the moment now. AMS Casper had a fast lap of the race as DRS has now been enabled. Will it be helpful to anyone? For PRF1's Demon is currently someone who looks vulnerable to potential overtakers. Robert Sachs is very close. He's got Amos Axel behind him. You know, the defending champion. That's not exactly easy. Amos Godwin, a triple PRF1 champion. And bear in mind, runner-upping both Ladder and Fangio last season. So, hardly slow, hardly muck, hardly incompetent. Then we got Owen CFC, who isn't exactly bad on pace. Then we got Andrew Pittsmith in the McLaren, and he's not doing too badly either. In the Midweek Madness League, second in championship there, in equal cars. A runaway second as well, and must have said, that was Axel, makes it for Robert Snipes, round the outside, into the new Bell chicane. Oh, what a move from the defending champion, Amos Axel. Up to 6th place, absolutely mugging Robert Snipes there. What a move there. Amos Axel might be having a little bit of the pickle in his opening 3 rounds of PRF1 Season 13 Fangio, but he's shown his qualities. Amos Casper is fast on this already 3 seconds cleared after 2 laps. That's incredible. As Amos Axel already sets his sights on his dude, the most experienced PRF1 has had the lot tonight in this race. But the Gunners has come out and misfit soft a little bit. His Sandra drop a tiny bit off Amos Apple. Then we've got Amos Trappy in P4. Then we have Fuse doing, can he hold off Amos Axel? Will he even attempt? These are the big burning questions on lap 17 of 39 of the PRF1 Season 13 Fangio Monaco Grand Prix. But just look, typically Monaco, overtaking is not impossible. You've seen it happen tonight, but it's not easy. Amos Axel, oh, is he setting up Fuse Demon here? I think he's a little too far back. What about Robert Sachs, Amos Godwin? No. Not Owen CFC or Andrew Pittsmith. Andrew Pittsmith has retired. What's happened there? Has he crashed? He has. And what sort of full course yellow is this? I can't quite say. Oh, it's a safety car again. Only big question is, what do people do on tyres? Amos Casper stays out. Amos Apple stays. Oh, he did a dummy there. Misfits, unsurprisingly, he's going to come in and get rid of those softs. He's going to hards. He probably wanted a bit more tyre delta relative to the field than that, with 4 and 5 laps of usage, and 6. So he's got 5 or 6 laps of advantage on most drivers. Owen CFC, interestingly, has decided he's going to go to softs. He's going to go aggressive. And that's surely going Owen CFC to a 4-stop strategy minimum now. There's no way he's making a set of softs lap over half the Grand Prix. The C6 just didn't last that long in F1 2025 in real life. It's a complicated tyre to use. You couldn't quite get it right. There's a black art with the tyres. So Amos Casper though, that helps those mediums be preserved. The capital of Amos Apple has disappeared. So the Lord giveth and the Lord taketh away with that safety car. In some ways, for Amos Casper. Amos Trappy in 3rd, Fuse Demon in 4th, Amos Axel in 5th. Robert 96, Amos Godwin in 7th, Misfits in 8th, and Owen CFC 9th and last. I gotta say, Misfits is really looking after those tyres, trying to extend their life. I'll tell you one thing, he's in best shape with tyres. With 6 laps advantage over the likes of Amos Godwin, Robert Snipes, and then 5 laps over Amos Axel, Fuse Demon, Amos Trapper, Amos Apple, and those mediums of Amos Casper. I don't think we're going to see anyone pit again unless Owen fancies another stop. And he does. For the 4th time, see Owen CFC coming to the pits. He's going to mediums. Okay. Yeah, that's his 4th stop. He's claiming his 5th. It's definitely not his 5th stop. There's definitely not used 3 sets to hard. No, I reckon that's a glitch. Let's count it when he's pit stopped twice. It's that 4 stops there for Owen CFC. He's gone back to set hards. He's already used, apparently. And Amos Trappy has fallen to P8 somehow. Have I missed something there? What's happened to Amos Trappy? How is he P8? Has Amos Trappy had a moment to be P8? Bit of a disaster there for the reigning Lauder champion. Not he wants here. It has to be said. Has he made a mistake? It looks like he's missing front wing. Okay. We're intrigued to know what's happened to him. And the safeguard's in this line. Oh, that's a disaster for Amos Trappy. He's got a nurse damage under green. Oh, piss. Under green. Neither option sounds great. Here we are, restart number 2 on the performance racing Formula Season 13 Fangio Monaco Grand Prix. But everyone's now committed and completed their tyre usage that they have to use regarding the Monaco specials and the free tyre compound rule that PRF1 have applied. Where's Amos Casper go? He's waiting a little longer this time. And he pulls the pin and we are going green! Jamie looks vulnerable to Amos Axel, but he fends him off. Oh, we have a movement over to CFC on Misfits. But Misfit has kept the position. He stays P7 and Amos Trappy has pitted. He's gone to the other set of hards. Meanwhile, Amos Casper still out in the lead. Still with Amos Apple right behind him. Fuse Demon in P3. He's quite made his way forward, hasn't he? Amos Axel P4. Robert Knight's P5, but with that 3-second penalty. Amos Godwin now sort of recovered to P6 here. Misfits in P7. ONCFC in P8. At the back of the Crocodile. With Amos Trappy having had to make a stop. Something happened under that second safety card to him. I'm not quite sure what, I'll be honest, but he is now 9th and last. But it's worth staying in this race. With the point system Fangio have, you score if you merely finish. Even if you finish 20th and last. So now, it's a question of, are we going to see Tyre strategies come into play? Amos Casper, the only one on mediums. Meanwhile, Fuse looking vulnerable to Amos Axel here. But capturing one thing's passing quite another, particularly at Monaco. We love the Murrays and we still miss you, Murray. Amos Axel potentially looking at the up and moving through Boravage into Massene. I mean, we saw it earlier as a battle for the lead between Amos Apple and Amos Casper. So it's possible if you play your cards right with Bruce Forsyth, you might be able to pull it off. Appears we've got the rev glitch with Amos Godwin. Why do we have this? But no one looks close to an overtake, unless Amos Axel is going to pull something outrageous on Fuse Demon. He does not, unsurprisingly. And my curiosity, how's the pace for Amos Trappy going to be? Is he going to drive angry and get himself towards the back of that field? And Casper, he's starting to pull away from Amos Apple, who he's pulled already a couple of seconds there on Fuse Demon. But Amos Axel's really close to him, but a sense for this being Monaco. That is not close enough for Amos Axel. He's getting close as ONCFC has called it quits. Why? Why? I'm sorry, but when we've got this amount of drivers left and these points on the table, that's ridiculous. And arguably disrespectful to the league, but that's going to promote Amos Trappy to P8 anyway. Amos Trappy to P8. Amos Trappy to P8. Meanwhile, we will look at the battle for P3 because that's the closest one on track at the moment. Has Fuse got anything for Amos Axel? Can he keep him behind? Will Fuse defend? Amos Axel's going to make a move on to the inside to the new chicane. Fuse Demon, he was sleeping there. And Amos Axel passes to Britain for P3. Blaming from Amos Axel, but Fuse Demon. That was poor. He should have defended that. Fuse Demon will be kicking himself. He should have defended that. Has he got a chance to head into set divorce? It appears not. It appears not. Anyway, we still have a race on. What? It is the Performance Racing Formula 1 Season 13 Fangio Monaco Grand Prix. And Amos Casper is leading it. Everyone has done their obligations regarding, fulfilled their obligations regarding the Monaco free tyre set rule. They have completed their PRF1 obligations regarding the free tyre dry tyre compounds with the weather fixture drive. As Amos actually starting to break away now. So one thing that Robert Snipes is very mobile to Amos Godwin. Is this the chance Amos Godwin's been looking for? The best Robert Snipes been looking for this all race. Amos Godwin doesn't have the confidence to pull it off. Robert Snipes goes deep there. And he has another 3 seconds for corner cutting. That's 6 now for Robert Snipes in terms of penalty. 6 seconds. He's clearly been exploiting just a little bit too hard. Oh, okay, that's going to make things difficult for Robert Snipes in terms of getting a good finish now. 6 seconds when everyone else is penalty 3, not necessarily corner cutting 3, but at least divided penalties. Amos Trappy not really setting a hot pace. He's inching forwards to the back of the pack, but Amos Casper just looks quick. Can he preserve those mediums? Can Amos Apple use those hands to eventually get on Amos Casper? Because Amos Casper has a tricky task. Amos Apple is quick. Can Amos Apple break that PRF1 duck? That he's not going to race for quite a while. And he'd love to pull it off here. Absolutely. Amos Axel starting to lurk as well. Having made a few recoveries in this race. Then we've got Fuse Demon, we've got Amos Godwin. Godwin has been stubborn. Robert Snipes is on form all Grand Prix. He just can't find a way ahead of that Ferrari. I know Amos Godwin has struggled here so far, but as champions do, he's found a way to move forward somewhat and just stay on the island. But he's really did look leery. Oh, as Robert Snipes chosen to pit. Robert Snipes has chosen to pit. Interesting call. This strategic. Could he generally not get those Hosty and he goes to mediums and he sees Misfits, his teammate, go to P6. But he's going because Amos Trap here on pit exit. Very close, but I think Amos Trap is going to have him. Yes, he does. And that's going to elevate Amos Trap to P7. A difficult afternoon for the louder champion of PRF1. But he's still in it. He's still plugging away. What can the Scot, the Briton, find? Can he make his way forward in the last 15 laps? Robert Snipes has a bit of a task though. He's last. 6 seconds of penalties. Can he find anything to move forward? Still steady out of the front. Still about 2-ish seconds between Amos Casper and Amos Apple. Amos Axel. I think it's starting to venture on Amos Apple there. Slight contact though coming out the swimming pool. These demons losing touch with the AMS trio. Speaking of Amos Godwin of course liberating now from Robert Snipes, but Misfit with that tyre delta is edging towards Amos Godwin. I'm now going to see a weird role reversal of that racing bull of Amos Godwin versus Ferraris. You can even hear the rev glitch from Misfits. That is, wow. Quite some, it's like a CVT gearbox that Amos Godwin's got. Amos Trap is being quickly caught by Robert Snipes here. I just wonder if Amos Trap is just pounding round just to collect points at this point. Considering the opportunities do look a little bit thin for now. But all it takes one safety car and a bit of chaos just to reset all that. Now we know his GC sets of hards. And he's used to medium, so he's only got softs left in that locker. I expect that's the case of many in the field. They've only got a set of hard shot mediums or a set of softs to go to. And do you want to go on softs, particularly if you might have a used set, because you'll definitely need to use all your sets to qualify well. Rob's nice looking closer now, Miss Strappy. With that close battle here, will we see any resistance from Miss Strappy? But mind, Robert would have to pass and find in 6 seconds as it currently stands. But I say, just like Amos Strappy is just cruising around, just coming to collect those points. Or he's deploying, he's still giving it some, he still wants to get a result here, Amos Strappy. It's a fair play to him. Oh, Amos Casper. He's starting to edge closer because Apple's closer to him, but Amos Axel's closer to Apple. Casper, Apple and Axel. Will this be an entertaining finish between the two Swedes and the Briton? But it's no coincidence, probably the 3 fastest drivers that are here are 1, 2 and 3. Well, wheel use as well. It's a very wheel orientated track, has been for the last 10 F1 games, let's be honest. F1 2016 in particular started that trend. On a control, it was very difficult. Oh, AMS Casper interestingly chosen to stop. Okay. I was wondering if he would just try and stay out and gamble and just take the tyres to the end. With this being Monaco. And he's got another set of mediums in that locker and they're nice and fresh. AMS Casper, will we now see a sequence of hot laps to try and get back towards his fellow AMSs of Apple and Axel? There's the gap, it's 17.7. AMS Casper, what have you got for us? Tell you one thing, he's already looking committed. He's not giving these tyres any general treatment. It's going to be a tough love treatment. Going to be the move. Oh, and looks like something's had to be missed with Amos Godwin. Amos Godwin's left the session. Oh. Amos Godwin's lagged out. Let me invite the lovely gentleman. If we can even find him. There we go. We've invited him back. But let me invite you, ladies, gentlemen, and children of all ages, towards the front master in AMS Apple. He's finding ways to lead, and he's got AMS Axel right behind him as Rollers Nice appears to have passed AMS Trappy somewhere. I think that's through the new battle skin, if not out of the exit of it. As AMS Casper has already made the move on AMS Godwin's Ghost, who is elected to make a stop. Onto another set of hards, okay. Okay, and that's going to put AMS Trappy to P7 again. But we have to look towards front. I think AMS Axel got very close to AMS Apple. Perhaps there was a slight nudge, but nothing too alarming. 11 laps. Will it be the Briton? Will it be the Swede? Or will we have someone left field take the victory here at the Performance Racing Formula 1 Season 13 Fangio Monaco Grand Prix? This is going to be old. We've been looking for a race-long battle, and we've sort of had that in strides. And now, here we are. Here we are. As we're going towards the crescendo. What? Stroking the punt. Amos is getting leery of Anthony Nudge as he ran out of tyres. As Amos got to rejoin. As he said, I do think, just looking at the tyres, Amos Apple probably has slightly better rear tyres at least. But Amos Casper's the fastest lap. He has found a lot of time already. 11.2 seconds behind already. He has found about 6 seconds in 2 laps on Amos Apple. Little things just trying to reserve. But wow. Amos Casper's already venturing on Fusion and Misfits. How much resistance are we going to see? Now, Misfits is probably the hardest in terms of tyres. He, remember, pitted under the second safety car. I'll tell you one thing though, the grip advantage for Amos Casper, you can see it. On the exit, it was so visible, but when they both got Ferrari PUs, the Ferrari and the Sauber, Amos Casper fought about it, but he's fought better of it as Andrew Pittsburgh has eventually left the session and then retired earlier. The one thing AMS Casper's got as well is, in this space, he's very close if he's Demons to that could relegate Saturday Mars and overtakes him. He's going to have a look into Raskas. He thought about it, but there just wasn't the room. Anthony knows, here's the thing. Buff, right powered cars have got DRS. Can AMS Casper do anything? He's going to have to be patient here. But he still made some time up there on the leading duo. Is he trying to make a move? Tomorrow he tried it, but he's out of battery. He's going to have to make a run. Misface was very close for his Demon too. Oh, AMS Casper, what are you doing? There wasn't a gap there. There just wasn't a gap there. I presume he might have damage now, but he just needs to regroup. He just needs to be patient. He's strict sometimes being the third car in the train. It's not always easy. We do have to say that. It's not always easy because you've got to read two cars in front of you rather than just one. You have to try and assist what the second car's going to do regarding the first. I think he's just running out of match too late. AMS Casper. And he makes a move into the new chicane and the Misfits. Oh, that was a bumper run. I guess Misfits for 3 seconds, but I think that was not a legal move from AMS Casper. If you ask my personal opinion, I don't think that move should stand myself. But I'm just commentating this. I'm not a steward. I'm not a driver. Well, I am a steward. I'm a backup steward if I'm needed. But in my personal opinion, AMS Casper should have not made that move. Or allowed it to stick. What's got confused Tyre and can he get back to the podium? He's trying everything there. But the battery games are just so different. Oh, there's just no cat there for Massa now. Massa's not overtaking spot. But can he get the run? I can see the square. He can into Lopomirabo. Oh, he turned into time. Is he going to go around the outside of the hotel airplane on fuse? Yes, he is. And he's managed to claim the inside line of the lower Mirabo. And AMS Casper makes it to P3. That's not good for AMS Apple or AMS Axel. Who are having their own fight to lead. They don't want AMS Casper to come and join. But now, what can AMS Casper? Now he's 3 of Fuse Demon and Misfits. He's cleared them. I have to say, that was a bit of a... I will say it again, I'm not sure that move of Misfits was legal. I think that was a clear bump and run. That might work in NASCAR, but I'm not so sure about an F1 league race. Not sure about that one. What's he now got? Does he have damage? That's my question. There's nothing visible that I can see. But is there something there in the game? And he's used a lot of battery here. He's going to have to harvest. At the same time as try and catch his fellow AMSists. Can the AMS Apple and AMS Axel though hand it out on tyres? Those tyres are looking pretty second rate in AMS Apple. And you know what? AMS Axel is they're looking slightly worse on the Sauber. Oh, AMS Apple's trying to set it up. Axel rather on Apple. There's too many years between them. But nothing doing. I think they just know each other's games. They've got the same power units with the Ferrari PU. But AMS Axel's had a long time to study AMS Apple and try and see if there's any weakness. AMS Casper's closing. He's got the gap to 9.5 seconds at the New Bell chicane. Has he got anything else, AMS Casper? Can he lower that gap even more? We don't quite know where to look. We have Axel desperately close to Apple, but I'm not sure he's going to have a chance to overtake because I think their pace is relatively, if not absolutely equal. And Monaco is very difficult to overtake, but we have seen moves. AMS Casper, though, is taking time. 15 laps of delta between tyres, but with the degradation, it's only ever going to favour these two because Haas degrades slower than the mediums. But it's going to be close. As I will say, with 6 to go, it will not be easy to get those Haas of Apple and Axels to the end. These Demons tyres are looking a little bit better than Apple and Axels. Misfit, of course, with those fresher tyres, he's looking alright in good shape. Robert Snipes using those mediums to try and catch Fuse and Misfits. AMS Trapper just still sort of going round. And the AMS Squadron just sort of accepting his fate, really. Being a frustrating afternoon there. for the double runner-up of season 12 and the triple champion. But he will come back stronger. Having already won in Azerbaijan, I'm sure he'll take the confidence from that. Winning a race he probably shouldn't have won and using it in future Grand Prix. Amos Apple appears to have started to pull away from Amos Axel, or is Amos Axel just taking a breather? But if we look towards the very background, look who's coming. It's Amos Casper. Only 6 seconds from Amos Apple now. And he's got the gap under 5 to Amos Axel. He's Amos Axel starting to struggle. It's a gap starting to extend to over a second. I was just breathing those tyres. One last crescendo at the very end. Who's to say? But there's only time that's to watch the performance race in Formula 1 Season 13 Fangio Monaco Grand Prix. 4.5 laps left for the leaders. They were trying to edge out. He said, oh, that's crucial. Amos Axel got 3-second penalty for multiple warnings. That just made Amos Apple's life that much easier in one sense. But I'm going to see team play between the Swedes at Sauber. Is this going to just not for Amos Axel to think, well, I'm going to leave Amos Casper anyway. Do I just let him by and play the team game and see if he can take Amos Apple? 4 laps to go. I cannot call this. And this is the last lap of full class yellow coming deployed by the game. And Amos Axel, Misfits and Rob are praying that green white checker does not come. Oh, Amos Axel has a moment. Through Casino Square. Oh. I'm getting a sense he's starting to really struggle with the balance and the grip. He does not look pretty. And his tyres are looking very second rate. Looking notably worse now than Amos Casper. Not that, well, yes, but I meant Amos Apple. Of course, going to look worse than Amos Casper. He's got the gap under 3 seconds to Amos Apple. This is not done yet. Amos Axel probably out the running with that penalty. Amos Casper pushing them. Let me try. They're pushing each other really, really hard. Really hard. And I think Apple's just kept Axel at DRS, but will we see a team game occur? Let's see what happens between the Swedish Saubers. Yes, Amos Axel's going to let Amos Casper go by the looks. I think that is the right call. Amos Axel's got no hope now. His tyres are in a worse state, and he's unlikely to make a move in Amos Apple. He just hasn't been able to make the move. What about Amos Casper? Amos Axel has sacrificed himself for the greater good and just try and collect that P3. Make sure Fuse Demon doesn't get anywhere close. And this is going to be great stuff now. 3 to go. The green light checker possibility has faded. Amos Casper's closing on Amos Apple. Making that 3rd stop. He didn't have to make it. He chose to. Will it prove to be the right decision? Bear in mind, he paid from the lead. We have to keep that in mind. But what a test of Amos Apple and Amos Casper. They've not been the most mentally calm drivers, it has to be said, when things go wrong. So this is a huge mental test for the both of them. I don't mean what I mean despitefully, by the way. They are still teenagers. We don't want to be too hard on them. But this is going to be a test. If any of these two win it, then they have thoroughly deserved it. Amos Apple for holding off Amos Axel, and then Amos Casper, he would have to deserve it. But if Amos Casper pulls it off, he would rather deserve it for pulling off a brilliant strategy. I mean, he made the mistake by going to hard in that second stint, it has to be said, but he might have converted it into I have been given lemons, I will make lemonade opportunity. But how much goodness has he got left in those mediums? That 5th, that's, oh, there's been a bit of a nudge. That just shows how much more grip Amos Apple has. Amos Casper has, rather. I'm losing plot here. Here we go. About 4 tenths between them. Can Amos Casper find a way, or is Amos Apple just going to hold on? I can't call this. Can you call it? We must say Amos Casper make a move. Or will he consolidate and claim P2 considering he looks like a likely championship contender? You don't be rude mistakes that come season end if you lose narrowly. Amos Casper left the DRS. Down the main straight fully for the last time. Has he got anything for Amos Apple here? Final lap 39 to 39, and we still don't know who's the likely winner of this Monaco Grand Prix and PRF1 season 13 Fangio. Amos Casper roll over Amos Apple. As Fuse Demon sets 3 seconds with multiple warnings, but he looks like he's okay against Misfits. But the battle has to be between the leading duo. Amos Casper looks on the inside of Lamura, and he gets the 3-second penalty, and that's another bumper run, it has to be said. I think he should give voucher to Amos Casper personally, as they go side by side through the tunnel. If I was Amos Apple, I would probably just concede it. You're not going to lose by 3 seconds from here. Oh, the wheel pad. Oh, this is getting messy and unnecessary. I'm hard fighting, but I'm not so sure they needed all that aggression. I think that was a little bit over the top from both of them personally. But like hard racing, we don't need a glutton of contact. As Rob Sykes gets another 3-second penalty, it appears like we're going to see Amos Casper cross the line, but it will be Amos Apple who will win the PRF1 Season 13 Fangio Monaco Grand Prix. Sensational drive for Amos Apple, well deserved. Amos Axel has just decided to collect P3 and his first podium of the season for the defending champion. Now, Fuse Demons still holding up people like Misfits and Robert Snipes to claim P4. The Ferraris would claim P5 and P6. Unless those past Robert Snipes would cost him Amos Trappy hunting and he gets P6. Amos Godwin, last week's winner in that sensational green-white checkered finish, will only collect P8. Okay. And there we are, it's starting to heat up in chat. They're not happy with each other, Amos Casper and Amos Apple. But I think they have to look at themselves as much as each other. And it says that Amos Trappy's pad disconnected. That's why he ended up with the issues under the second safety car. Oh, okay. Okay, well. We may have seen things we didn't want to see at the end there. As we see, Amos Apple's the race winner. Amos has got a fast lap driver there, but it was Amos Trapper who had the most overtakes and cleanest driver. So at least he's got that despite everything that happened to him. So the results are, we have Amos Apple, the race winner. He managed to defeat Amos Casper 1.906 seconds. Amos Axel was P3, P0 P4, P6 P5, Amos Trapper P6, Robert Sykes P7, and Amos Godwin P8. The last finish with Orange CFC 18. And your placement entry and master spread. Not make checkered flag, although I must say with Owen, he chose to retire and he didn't need to. But anyway, that was quite a sensational, wasn't it? We didn't know who was going to win to the very end. Oh, wow. That was decent, wasn't it? What a race that was. Well, if that wasn't fun enough, you want to do it next week? Because guess what? We have one of the other crown jewels of Formula 1. We have the Belgian Grand Prix next week. I'll be there. Hope you'll be there for the PRF1 Season 13 Fangio Belgian Grand Prix. I've been Callum. I will see you next week. Bye-bye.